Guys, we are back. We are so back. And what I mean by that is that the Disney Store is back in the best way possible. Not just with a poorly made Cars on the Road release or a 3-pack of characters they already released 15 years ago. No, this time we truly have 4 brand new cars in here. Our beloved characters, Lightning McQueen, Mater, DJ, and Red, in exclusive Halloween costumes. But not just any random costumes. No, in fact, all 4 of these appear in real life, in full form, 1-to-1 scale at Cars Land. And I don't think all of us are actually familiar with this, so let me toss some pictures up there on the screen. But in Cars Land and the Disney parks in general, they decorate amazingly and heavily for Halloween and Christmas. I've had the joy of being there during Christmas time, but not Halloween time, in which, yeah, all the characters, the cars that drive around and entertain the guests on the streets of the Radiator Springs in Cars Land, they get costumes, they get decorated as well. McQueen becomes a superhero. Mater is Dracula, which is the only one that actually is from a movie, being Cars 2. DJ is a rock star, and Red is a clown. Cruz Ramirez also gets a pirate costume, and there's also this Scarecrow car that the Disney Store did actually release as an ornament a few years back. They also did this Calaca skull for Dia de los Muertos, which is right around the same time as Halloween. I always call this Calaca Caraca. Cool carified name. People tease me for it, but I think it's cool. I think it works. But yeah, here we are. This is awesome. At the end of the day, the Disney Store is getting their act together, releasing some stuff that actually matters, some stuff that actually moves the needle and excites the fan base. This is very creative. They had a stroke of genius with this. They're like, we already have the designs for this. Let's just make them in die-cast form, release them a few months before Halloween, so there'll be plenty of time for them to be out. I am so excited to review these for you guys. I'm sure a lot of you are as well. I'm pretty sure this 4-pack will be hitting the very few physical location Disney stores that are left. Pretty much they all close, but they're also sold in the Disney parks. And I got mine though online, DisneyStore.com or Shop Disney, whatever they're calling it today. They keep flipping back and forth between those names. It's always going to be the Disney Store to me. And there's also some news to be had, but they're doing a holiday pack as well, a Christmas pack with Doc, Ramon, McQueen, and Mater. So we'll review that when the time comes as well. But let's dive right on in here. I do want to note a fun little difference right off the bat between this version of the pack that I got online and the pack that I got from Astro Smokey in Australia. And he got it online, but from the Australian version of the site. His has this little patch on the bottom, like a packing slip almost. But that is the only difference that I noticed between the packagings. I just wanted to point that out to you guys as something that, yeah, doesn't really matter, but might as well toss in the video for documentation purposes. Cars Halloween 4-pack, pretty straightforward. The packaging is similar to what we've gotten with previous recent Disney Store releases. Just Road Trip Lightning McQueen and Mater in his Cars 3 pose. You can see they didn't really go all out for the packaging. It doesn't seem like that's where they allocated their resources for this, which I'm totally fine with. I mean, it looks like someone photographed these in their basement and used a background remover website and slapped them on the box. These are not professional digitized stock images in the slightest, but hey, don't care. They don't even go to the effort of really naming these characters in the variant way, like Superhero McQueen or Rockstar DJ, whatever it might be, and I'm fine with that. We could just come up with them on our own. I do want to hear your guys' feedback on how you would name DJ. I think I kind of want to go the heavy metal DJ route. I'll explain why in a little bit. By the way, they are kind of moving away from Disney Store marketing. Just Disney. And yeah, I actually really like that. And I'll be right back with this 4-pack all opened up. Now, back in my day, when you got a new Disney Store item, you had to get out your screwdriver. There were at least 2 screws per every car. It would take forever. You had to earn that car, and by the time you were done unscrewing them, you were just so fed up with it. I mean, oh God, guys, it was a horrible process. I don't mind these twist offs at all. Kind of the evolution of the screws. All you gotta do is just use your hands to twist them off. Wow. Technology, progress. I love it. Love it. That was so much less painless than how it was. Like, I just remember, I think it was like Christmas, I got the set of like World Grand Prix racers and their crew chiefs. They did 2, they split up into 2 sets because there were just so many. You couldn't do it all at once. And yeah, probably 2 hours just unscrewing it because they were small screws. They were very difficult to get out. It's not like, oh, you just kind of screw and you're good to go. No, you really had to work at it. It was brutal. But anyways, guys, let's dive in here. These all look phenomenal. I have to say, I am so enthralled with what the Disney Store is doing here. Just out of the blue, they finally decided to put something out good. And this is actually much better, much more than good. This is phenomenal. Disney Store at their best. Now, we're going to start with Dracula Mater because he's the most boring of the bunch. As it's not really anything new, but I did say at the beginning of the video, these are 4 new releases, and that is true because this is a new variant of Dracula Mater, different from what we got, not only from the Disney Store, obviously, back in the day, but also Mattel here. Very underrated version of Mater, to be honest. There's a lot of underrated Maters in the Cars 2 realm, but mainly want to compare him to the previous version that the Disney Store did. Now, we have to remember the Disney Store works in 1/43 scale, which means they are bigger by about a factor of 1/5, 1/6 to 1/5 than Mattel. And you could see that pretty clearly there, although it varies from car to car. Like you'll see with red, it's actually kind of the opposite for whatever reason. But you get a lighter pink instead of kind of a lavender. You kind of get a salmon colored Dracula Mater. The expression is a little bit different. It's a flat windshield instead of the raised eyelids there. You do have the red eyes on both. He's got his little medallion, but it is a lot smaller and kind of way less detailed, in fact. But I really don't care that much about Dracula Mater. My attention's on the other ones much more so. It does make sense. I do find it cool that they integrated Dracula Mater from Cars 2 into the Cars Land Halloween decorations and Fuzz This Pack. By the way, I think the mouth is way better on this older version. The teeth are a lot more defined, and this just kind of looks like a marshmallow that got a little too burnt when you're making s'mores. I don't know, it just looks a little weird to me there. I do think the engine looks pretty good with the black painted around the middle there, the pink in the middle, whereas before it was just all that lavender color. Now, what's really cool about all 4 of these is that they have rubber tires. Pretty crazy, right? Yeah, these are rubber tires. You can feel them. They're all treaded. And yeah, quite detailed in that department, more so than before here. Way more detailed than before. So that's really nice. Is that made in Vietnam? Is that what I saw there? Yeah, wow. Wow, there's a lot going on here on the base. Holy cow. Look at all this information. And we thought that Mattel puts a lot on the base. This is wild. We're not going to go through all this. We don't really care about all this. Yeah, they had to put made in Vietnam in 4 languages. Really? Really? But you could tell that they do use screws to put the cars together. And these holes are to attach it to the base. I wonder what kind of machine they have that, this is all made and then they attach it to the package with those black twist offs. Like, there must be some really cool machine that just plugs them in. I don't know. I would love to see that. But getting back to the comparison here, I think the hair is significantly better. It is actually textured. You could feel the slits in there, the gleams of his hair, I guess you could say, whereas before it was just flat. Not only, it was very flat. There's no elevation to it. It doesn't kind of pop off like this one is, like Elvis almost. But yeah, It was just smooth and not textured. I did kind of like the jaundice in his eyes though, but I don't think that is accurate to how we see him in Cars Land. And I might as well put comparison pictures up of each of these as we go along. I showed some pictures earlier on, but wanted to go into a little bit more depth here and actually do a side-by-side comparison, real life and the diecast here. Okay, moving right along here, again, you have the more detailed wheels and tires. You do have the red stripe. Purple's a little bit lighter. It's not as bright. The towing cables are brown and also a textured wire up here. That's really cool. Before, again, it was just smooth. So I'd say overall, lots of upgrades. You also have a lot more detailing here in the back. You have the caution tape, or I always say caution tape, but you guys know what I'm saying there. The lights, you do have the A113 license plate. Very cool. I think a lot of people did not anticipate, either they didn't realize the Disney Store did do Dracula Mater back in the day, but also didn't realize that it's way different from that one they did so long ago, and I am glad about it. I mean, it's better than Mattel's version. I love the fact it has the black and white, black and yellow stripes here on the back. We don't actually see the back of Dracula Mater in Cars 2, so it is just left up to creative liberties. But yeah, I mean, also Mattel's wheels are pretty basic. The blue, yeah, this is blue. It doesn't really look right. The towing cables being blue and everything. Have to give it to the Disney Store here. The hair just looks phenomenal. That might be the best part of all of it. The only thing I would say is the teeth just don't look as good. Yeah, Mattel really nailed the teeth and the expression as a whole. That is something I will definitely give them credit for. But yeah, I like Dracula Mater, and yet he is my least favorite in the set. So I think that says a lot. Let's move on to Superhero Lightning McQueen here. Super McQueen, Super Lightning, however you want to call him. There he is in real life as well. I've seen people attempt customs at this. I've seen people attempt customs at mini racer versions of this. For whatever reason, right off the bat, he just reminds me of a couple like Cars Toon characters, kind of like Moon. I don't know why, maybe because of the rockets in the back. For whatever reason, I kind of thought of the Moon Mater astronaut McQueen there, but maybe a little bit more appropriately because of the color scheme is Air Lightning McQueen, Airhawk, whatever they're calling him. There was no official consensus on that name either. But yeah, I mean, the color scheme is almost identical with the red, yellow, and blue. This is the Disney Store version of Air McQueen, by the way. And that is what I kind of referenced earlier in the video when I said they released a 3-pack of cars they did 15 years ago. The Falcon Hawk, Mater Hawk, and McQueen Hawk, they just re-released in a 3-pack. They also did Dex, Heavy Metal McQueen, and Heavy Metal Mater in a 3-pack. There might have been something else that they re-released from way back in the day as well. It's just like, we don't need that as collectors. I mean, I appreciate it for those who need it. I'm sure they appreciate it as well, newer collectors. But come on, reward us older collectors for being with you for so long. Ugh, bothers me. But here we go. Finally, we are getting what we deserve. I like the expression on this a lot. The Disney Store's always struggled with expressions, but this one, pretty good. Yeah, I just think the eyes have always looked a little cartoony. They still do, but this one turned out pretty good. Big old smile. Just saw Superman in theaters the other day. By the way, I love the blue trim on the bolts here. LMQ. Kind of reminds me of like the Incredibles logo. It's like a call-out, punch-out type thing, like a blurb from a comic book. Maybe that's what they were going for. But yeah, I just saw Superman in theaters the other day. Great movie. Great movie. Really just fun time at the movies at the end of the day. I'm a Marvel fan, though, at heart. DC is fine. There's a lot that I like from them. Peacemaker being my favorite DC thing, and so I'm very excited for season 2 of that here in about a month, I think it is. Cannot wait for that. But yeah, no, Superman was great. I'm excited to see what else they do within the new DCEU. Obviously, like I said, though, Marvel is at my heart. And then, yeah, you have the cape here, which is an elongated spoiler, essentially. And yeah, it looks great. It's a plastic piece that they screwed in. You have your gas cap there, by the way. Yeah, this is great. Just so creative. I am so happy that they are putting these, like, just monetizing, cashing in on the great designs that they came up with for all these Halloween costumes in Cars Land. Like, come on. Why does Cars Land get all the fun? Cars Land has some amazing things, and if there was somebody a little bit more apt, like a little bit more edgy in charge of the merchandise, they could put out some incredible stuff. Like, the potential is there, unrealized gains. Oh my God, there's so much you could do with Cars Land, and it would draw people in. You could do exclusives. Oh my goodness, so much. But yeah, no, this is something that I've wanted for a while, and I am so glad that it is finally here. Never thought it would actually come. Honestly, this is one of the biggest surprises of the last few years in all of just Disney cars collecting. Now, this might be my favorite. It'll come down to DJ or Red here, but looking at this guy when he was first revealed, just so much familiar about him. So I really took a while to think, why does DJ here look so familiar? And yet, I mean, it's not like you see DJ like this in a movie or anything of the sort. But then you start to realize, well, there is that character that has the same model as DJ who also has a mohawk. It's like, oh yeah, that's Yakuza from Tokyo Mater and Cars 2. It's like, okay, now we're getting somewhere, because I was going to say, it just looks too familiar. I had to put my finger on it, but then it's like, that's not everything. It's like the Disney Store kind of has a mohawk fetish right now, because one of their more recent releases, which is not saying much because they put out like 3 cars a year, and this was already a couple years ago, but the Rumbler McQueen, the transitional road trip Lightning McQueen, you could do Rumbler McQueen, you could do, what was the other McQueen that you could do out of it? Nah, it doesn't matter. It was a pretty poor product, as you can see here by all the pieces popping off, like the mohawk in the back. So yeah, the Disney Store, see how bad this is, guys? I remember I did not have a good time when I reviewed this one back in, I think it was February or March of 2023. But that's not everything, guys. I'm like, there is still something that is super familiar about him. And I finally put my hand on it, and that is why we're going to call him Heavy Metal DJ, because he has a similar jacket with the studs on him, although they are not texturized. They are not 3D like Heavy Metal Mater here. Like, look at how similar that is. It's actually uncanny. I brought out the whole squad just because I had to stress the point to you guys that this jacket is just like what you see on the Heavy Metal Mater cars. Even Rodney the Rocker makes an appearance. I bet you didn't have that on your bingo card for this video of mine. Rodney the Rocker making an appearance. But yeah, that is how I feel about DJ. There's a lot that went into him, and we'll see in about 3 minutes if he or Red will be my favorite. But yeah, no, he looks great here. Here is the Mattel DJ for size comparison. They put the little centerpiece there as red. I think that looks cool. By the way, there is him in real life. DJ's definitely gotten a little bit of favoritism as the years have gone on, because he did appear in that short Spinning. So that automatically sets him above Snot Red Boost and Wingo, because they don't appear in any shorts, anything. They're always together, but DJ gets the bonus appearance. And now he gets this. And obviously, Cars Land gets to drive around all the time. Pretty awesome. It's because he's got the music element. So in Cars Land, they could do like a little dance party type thing in the streets. Makes sense. Can't really do that with the other ones. Can have like a sneeze fest with Snot Rod. But yeah, no, really cool. I think the expression's good. DJ's always been a hard one with the expression just because there's not much room there. And literally, the engine piece just popped off of that Rumbler McQueen, because it was just sitting there idling, and the tension was so hard on it, it had to just pop off. That just goes to show how poorly made that product is. But anyways, side view mirrors, awesome. I love how they painted the back of them here in gray. That is just such a cool detail that Mattel just incapable of. They just give you this glob of metal. It's just not even accurate. It should be 3-pronged, and they only give you the 2 prongs. It's barely cut out, and they are not painting the backside of it at all. So Have to give the Disney Store credit for that. I mean, it just looks great. Just looks great. They go down to the sound waves here in the bottom on the speaker, colorizing that. That looks great. Again, something that is not done on the Mattel version. You obviously have your jacket there. Just so cool. Such a creative paint job. Such a creative costume at the end of that. I mean, it's just awesome. It's funky. It's edgy. It's bold. My only problem with the Disney Store DJ is that this is all just a flat decal. And it's not actually intricately done and carved out like Mattel did here, which honestly, Mattel, yeah, that's pretty cool. That they carved out all the little speakers and the dial and all that. Because it does look pretty cheap for it here to just be a decal. But yeah. Do you guys notice that there's like a ear ring here? Yeah, that's meant to be an ear ring. The fact that they actually molded that into the wing is incredibly impressive. But yeah, so instead of decorating your ears, what would be the equivalent of your ear as a car? Not really sure. Probably shouldn't think too hard about it, but the equivalent of an earring would be a spoiler ring. That's pretty cool. I didn't even notice that until I opened them up. And obviously you have the mohawk here on top. Very cool. And that is a plastic piece as well, but it's thick. And Lord have mercy on anybody who accidentally steps on that. That does not look pleasant at all. That would tear your foot up for sure. But awesome. We'll see if Red can dethrone him as my favorite currently or not. Red's looking pretty great. And honestly, I do think he's going to dethrone him just because not only is this just like a great variant of Red, it's also just a probably more accurate version of Red than anything else we've gotten at the end of the day. I mean, so in terms of scale, he's not as big as the deluxe version of Red from Mattel. He's kind of on par with the version that they had done way back in 2006, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and the Race and Rescue version that they just put out a couple months ago. He is a little bit longer than those versions of Red, though. So, let's get into it here. You have your big nose, probably a little bit too big, but you know, he's going all out. By the way, there he is in real life. Keep forgetting about that. Oh my god, so cool, guys. This is awesome. I have not had this much fun reviewing something in a while. Like, yeah, reviewing the variants of Eugene Carbureski is cool and all that, but it's not really new. It's not a new character, nothing crazy. And again, I think I said in that video, like, we are so excited about a variant. This is something to truly get excited about. You have I don't even know how you would describe this, just the hair, purple hair here. Looks like Bozo the Clown. He's got the makeup around his mouth and the lights there. You can see the white around the lights as well. The hat with the flower. So cool. Texturized. Fits perfectly. And yeah, I love that they made Red look very accurate here with the yellow trim all over. Again, you have the rubber tires that are treaded. By the way, I did want to show you guys the treads on DJ. And the ones on McQueen are just smooth because they are racing track tires. Again, this detailing is something that Mattel is incapable of. They can't figure it out with the red detailing, the yellow pinstripes and all that. The Disney Store's got it on lockdown, though. Radiator springs. This part's a little bendy. I'm not sure I love that. And it looks very bendy there. This one's perfect, though. 002 license plate. Oh, gosh, guys. Just look at all the detailing that the Disney Store is able to nail. Mattel just doesn't even make an attempt on it. The ladder looks great up here. Not movable, though, if you were wondering. Kind of swiggles, though. I mean, just look how much better this looks compared to that. It just looks cheap. It's tough, guys. I think Red and DJ are a tie. They're both phenomenal. some of the best variants of these characters. I mean, there aren't that many variants of them, I guess, for competition, but yeah, you guys know what I'm saying. Let me know, though, in the comments, who is your favorite out of all 4 of these. Now, before we do close, I did want to show you a couple other fun things. If you remember, I did a review of a bunch of Halloween customs. They were from Diecast Dungeon a long time ago, before he even went by that name. He kind of predicted the future. He did a Clown Fillmore that has almost the exact same features here as Red. The hat, the nose, the hair on the sides and all. And he did a, where are you? He did a Scarecrow Witch type Red. Really cool. I love this hat. Such a big, perfect hat with the straw underneath. He did a Devil Lightning McQueen as well. So those two, not really translated, but I do think there actually was a Devil McQueen in some sort of promo art. So that he might have actually taken from that. And so we do have to give him credit there. But guys, let me know in the comments below. Out of these 4, which one is your favorite? I think the answers are going to be all over the map. I think we're going to have people who like McQueen the most, people who like Red, DJ, probably not Mater, because he appeared in Cars 2. We've already been accustomed to him. We already know and love him. But yeah, thanks for sticking through this whole long video. My only criticism, besides, the mouth on Mater and the decal on DJ on the back, is what if you excluded Mater and gave us the Cruz Ramirez as the pirate, or even just the Scarecrow car? I mean, that would be pretty cool. That would have made this set absolutely elite. I understand Mater's an important primary character. You have to include him. But yeah, this is some of Disney Store's best work of their entire existence, and is the best thing they probably put out in 10 plus years. And I do want to mention real quick, I did like the Ivy that they did. Ivy's honestly really worth a look, because Mattel's version of Ivy is cool and all that, but the Disney Store actually gives you a full, legit monster truck. Again, kind of rubberized tires and all that. Expression's really good. Her transition's pretty poor, though. It's like, what the hell is this? I mean, Mossy Ivy, I guess. But, yeah, I just want to toss that in there as a side note. That is all I have for you guys. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you guys in another video. Bye now.